All right, thanks for tuning in for another video today, guys. Today I want to talk about the reasons why you should be owning a Fujifilm camera. Now, Fujifilm is one of those sort of camera brands that kind of sneaks under the radar. It seems to have its die-hard fans, and then it seems to have people that think that it's not, it's not professional enough. It doesn't have, the features that kind of match Sony or Canon. But I'm here today to provide you with multiple reasons why I think that you, if you don't already, should own a Fujifilm camera. So let's jump into it. First thing we want to talk about is the form factor. Now, I believe that Fujifilm sets itself apart in the camera industry by the form factor and the way that their camera bodies looks, particularly the XT line. The new XH2S is a little bit more stereotypical mirrorless DSLR, but the XT line really sets itself apart. The amount of times I've been shooting at a wedding and someone comes up to me trying to make conversation and ask, "Oh, are you shooting film?" And I have to go through the process of explaining that this is a new camera. Fujifilm is an old brand that used to do film, and kind of give them the whole spiel. But the looks of the camera is eye-catching. People want to know about it. People want to talk to you about it. So I think the looks is a really important part of it, at least for some people. And the form factor is actually pretty good. I mean, the whole retro dial sort of thing with your shutter speed and your ISO on top, I gotta say I don't actually use that a lot because I've become so accustomed with the two dials for the thumb and your pointer finger for changing ISO and aperture. But the form factor is actually pretty good. A lot of people will suggest that the grip isn't big enough. I don't seem to have a problem with it. I think the form factor is great. It's the camera that I want to take with me when I am going on holidays, when I'm just going out with my friends. It's the profile is low, but the quality is high. And it's kind of got that unique look that, you don't feel like you're lugging around this kind of professional looking camera, but you're taking around this camera that, it's stylized a bit, it's got some retro looks, and it's getting you some awesome image quality. So that is the first couple of reasons why you should have the Fujifilm. The next thing is the shooting experience. When I'm going out and about, when I'm hanging out with my friends, when I'm going on holidays, this is the camera I want to take. The other camera that I have is a Lumix S5 and a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Now, I'm definitely not going to be taking the Pocket 4K on a holiday or a trip. It's just too difficult. But this one, the IBIS is fairly good, the autofocus is fairly good, and the shooting experience is actually really fun. And that actually leads me into the next point, which is the film simulations or the JPEGs that you get out of this camera. So as a part of the kind of shooting experience, I've really found that I am no longer interested in taking photos that I have to edit after the fact. My edit wait time is just far too long, and I want to take pictures, I want to send them to my phone, and then I want to send them to the people that I'm out hanging out with. And I find that this fact alone, the fact that I can get such a creative look in camera and I can choose that before I start shooting, is just a really awesome thing. Really enjoying a film recipe that I've got online called Kodak Negative, I think. I've been shooting in that a lot, and things like Classic Chrome, things like Eterna, these are just all great simulations to be getting really great JPEGs in. And that actually leads me to the next point as well, which is the simulations in the video mode. So I've actually been trying to develop a look out of this camera using the Eterna as the base profile that matches the colors that I'm getting out of my professional job. So when I'm shooting with the S5, when I'm shooting with the Pocket 4K, I'm using a set of LUTs that I like to try and transform and make them all look the same. And I'm actually trying to see if I can push Eterna in camera to look very similar to these two other looks that I get out of the camera. And I'm getting pretty close. I'm actually going to be making a video about that. So if you're interested in that and how you can kind of push Eterna in camera to be giving you really great high dynamic range looks, that's something I'm going to be talking about in a future video. So the film recipes for JPEGs and the film recipe for your videos just means that you can get out there, shoot a lot, enjoy the process of shooting, and minimize your editing time on the computer. And the Fujifilm is all about the experience. It's all about shooting. It's all about having fun while you're shooting. So I think that is why you need to own a Fujifilm camera. Next thing I want to talk about is the strong codecs in the camera. The 10-bit codec is really, really robust and strong, obviously, that's why we get 10-bit. But amazingly, you can shoot most of the time in 8-bit, in F-Log, and still get very clean, very usable footage that you can tweak slightly and not have it fall apart. You can make slight adjustments to the white balance, and you can make slight adjustments to colors without that 8-bit file falling apart. Somehow Fuji has made a really great 8-bit file that if you're wanting to save space, you can actually still shoot log in that, or if you've got the XS10, you can still shoot log in that to be maximizing your dynamic range, which is really good. So the codecs in this camera are really strong. They've got really high bit rates in long GFP, so it's really good for that reason. The next reason is the price. Now, I picked up the Fujifilm X-T4 on sale for just under 2,000 Australian dollars, and with regards to the camera market and all the different cameras that are in it, I think that's an absolute steal. You are getting 4K 50 at 10-bit, okay? You're getting very high quality 120p in HD, pushing it up to 200 or 240 if you need it, although that's starting to become unusable at that point. But the price of this camera is really well priced, particularly on the used market. You could pick this camera up for a steal. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the third-party lenses that you can buy for this camera. So I've invested in some of the Viltrox lenses. This is the 56, I'm shooting on the 23, and they're both f1.4, and you know, they come in anywhere between 300 and 500 Australian dollars, which is just bonkers really. They're coming in at half the price of actual Fujifilm lenses, and if you've seen the reviews on them, they're pretty much equaling, or they're just under the lens quality of the Fujifilm glass. So the fact that Fujifilm gives you access to third-party lenses like Viltrox, it just means that you are keeping your price low while maintaining the high quality of your images, of your video. So the lenses are a really great part of why you should be getting into the Fujifilm ecosystem. And lastly, it's just fun. It's fun to own this camera. It's fun to shoot the JPEGs. It's fun to shoot video with baked in looks that you already like. I feel like there was a huge trend a couple of years ago on YouTube with filmmaking where it's like everything's got to be logged. And I don't know, I reckon Fujifilm is pushing against the tide here, where it's all about being intentional, setting up your shot, making sure the colors are everything are looking the way that you want them to. And it's actually really rewarding to shoot particularly video with these baked in colors, because the image just looks so rich and it just kind of spurs you to wanting to keep making stuff and keep creating. So those are my reasons why. I'm not sure how many there were. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 reasons why you should buy a Fujifilm camera in 2022. So if you've got any questions about the X-T4 or about anything to do with Fujifilm, put them in the comments down below. And if you would like to see any other videos about Fujifilm or particular settings on it, put that in the comments down below. And appreciate your view. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. That would be awesome. This is a growing channel. And we will catch you guys in the next video.